The super competitively priced Rosen Inn International has no doubt tempted you with its free parking and no resort fees near Universal, but at the expense of offering you with pretty much no sense of luxury whatsoever. But is it meeting expectations? With ever-increasing theme park ticket prices, you could find luxury to be somewhat overrated when planning your next Orlando vacation. Hi, I'm the Frugal Brit. My mission is to review every noteworthy hotel in Orlando, and for this video I'll provide a breakdown of the good and the not so good reviews of the Rosen Inn International to help you decide whether it's right for you. And at the end I'll provide some tips that'll hopefully help in getting the best out of any vacation at this hotel. The Rosen International doesn't quite know whether it wants to be a hotel or a motel, but it does offer several amenities that are very useful. This hotel has 728 rooms within 10 two-storey low-rise buildings, and there are 2 additional 6-storey tower blocks placed near the hotel amenities. Rosen International is located on International Drive just off Sand Lake Road with easy access to the I-4. I would say clearly a huge appeal is its proximity to the iDrive restaurants and minor attractions and of course the Universal theme parks. Not everyone enjoys International Drive as much as I do, and I think the main reason for that is due to it being a tourist hotspot. But I don't think that's all bad. It is of course heavy on tourists on International Drive, but that can create a fun holiday atmosphere if you're in the right mindset. Rosen International costs around $60 midweek in September for 2 adults and $91 on a Saturday in September. And impressively that will cover 2 adults and 2 children if you can handle that in one room. If you're travelling in the summer months, add roughly 20 to 30% to those costs. Those planning to stay at Rosen International will be pleased to hear that this hotel offers no resort fees, free Wi-Fi, free parking and kids eat for free. The standard rooms contain a coffee maker, iron and ironing board, small fridge, a microwave, USB charging ports and a decent quality hairdryer. So these of course will help you save both money and luggage space. This hotel features 2 swimming pools, one of which has a shallow toddler splash pool. Other amenities include a playground, a fitness centre, an arcade room, 2 internet terminals, and apparently a business centre. Rosen International has the Light Bite Gifts and Deli store, which operates as a convenience store, a deli and a gift shop all in one. The deli serves things such as sandwiches, hot dogs, wings and pizza. You've got the Fountain View Cafe, which offers breakfast and dinner buffet with a different cuisine each evening. The breakfast will provide you with pancakes, French toast, bacon, waffles, all the awesome unhealthy stuff that you expect from an Orlando vacation. And lastly, Rosen International has the Topsy-Turvy Lounge Bar with a nightly happy hour featuring a karaoke night on occasion. Alright, so unsurprisingly, the thing that is appreciated most by Rosen International guests is the incredible value offered. Everything about this hotel is set up to help you in saving money. Despite the insanely low room prices, there's no sneaky charges thrown in like parking fees, resort fees or things like that, and so Rosen International deserves a lot of credit here. Many guests are really pleased with the location of this resort due to the dining options within comfortable walking distance. You've also got some cool minor attractions nearby as well. And due to the location, you've got convenient access to the Universal parks and the I-4 to get you to Disney. The tropical landscaping areas around the pool are easy on the eye and impressively maintained. Given the price you're paying, this massively exceeds expectations. Wi-Fi overall seems to work well. There are some reviews complaining about it, but most of the ones I saw were satisfied, and also when comparing to other hotels I reviewed, I would say it's above average. The 2 pools satisfied most guests. They're nothing to write home about, but they're definitely adequate for those lazy days when you need rest from the parks. And they're open until 10 PM as well, which is nice and gives you some flexibility. The Light Bite store really comes in handy to pick up groceries and for when you want to grab a quick bite to eat, which is all reasonably priced. The Light Bite at Rosen International doesn't do Starbucks coffee like the Rosen Inn at Point Orlando, but the coffee is said to be good, and you do have a Starbucks which is 6 minutes walk away. This hotel has very good security with guards on duty at night, and it's contained by a high wall and staffed gate. I saw several reviews praising this, and from all the reviews I saw, I didn't see any reports of anything going missing from rooms or anything like that. The rooms are clean, not perfect, but importantly I can say from my review analysis that they satisfied far more people than you would expect with the price point. Most importantly, guests are praising the cleanliness of the rooms at this hotel. Furthermore, the beds are comfortable and decently sized. Roughly every other floor has an ice machine, and it also has do-it-yourself laundry facilities, which is obviously useful. $3 to wash and $3 to dry. There are many people irritated by the timeshare salespeople at this resort who were not appreciated. So be warned, if you're offered something for free at reception, or if you're told about something not being available the next day, it's a red flag. I think the main thing that rubbed people the wrong way here is people being told that they needed to act fast on a timeshare deal because they wouldn't be there the next day, only to find that, surprise, surprise, the same salespeople continued the very next day. I can see why this would frustrate a lot of people, but for balance, I think this is a small price to pay when you're paying for such a low rate on your rooms. Probably the biggest complaint with this hotel is that it definitely isn't the quietest. It doesn't get my recommendation if you're looking to get a perfect night's sleep every night. One of the reasons for that is the air conditioning units making a lot of noise. I saw a lot of reviews complaining about big families making a lot of noise as well. And in one case, a group of people playing loud music from a sound system until 10 PM. This is not a hotel for introverts without a doubt, but if you are a friendly and social family, chances are you will enjoy the fun but borderline rowdy atmosphere at Rosen International. I think it is fair to say that this hotel is not on the nicest part of International Drive. I would say that the Rosen Inn at Point Orlando further south is a better looking location. This part of iDrive further north is decent, but as a few people have pointed out in reviews online, it is looking a bit tired in certain areas, with some stores having closed down. The reviews on food at the hotel were pretty mixed, but more positive than negative. The main issue complaint raised was that the bacon was a bit overcooked, which I'm sure many can live with. So with hotel staff, I did see a few reviews of people mentioning that staff were not that particularly helpful in terms of giving recommendations of things to do and places to eat, etc. So I would recommend that you be prepared and do your research of Orlando beforehand. But given that you are watching this video, probably not an issue. The rooms are well received at this hotel, but I should say that a few guests felt that the furniture was a bit dated, and unfortunately, as already mentioned, there was quite a few people who had commented on the effective but nevertheless noisy air conditioning units. I did see some people complaining that the shuttle buses were very busy, but I can't help but feel that at this price point, and given that the shuttles to Universal are free, the expectations haven't always been realistic here, in my opinion. In summary, this hotel is a super smart choice for budget-minded holidaymakers, maybe even the smartest choice. When compared to the cost of a 2-week stay on-site at Disney, you won't be that far off being able to get 2 holidays at Rosen International for the price of 1 holiday on-site at Disney World for a 3-star hotel, and I think it's really worthwhile putting it in that perspective. Would you recommend Rosen International to a good friend that demands the finer things in life? Absolutely not. If you're looking for a quiet hotel in a more upmarket area of International Drive, you may want to spend a little extra. But all in all, if you are intending to spend most of your time exploring the attractions in Orlando, then Rosen International is a fantastic choice to save on costs. So now I'll get into my hotel tips, but I just wanted to ask that if you are enjoying this video so far, please hit the like button, and if you're interested in hotel reviews and other Orlando vacation content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification button. Number 1. So for transport, I would suggest that if you plan to take advantage of the shuttle buses to the Universal Parks, which includes Islands of Adventure and Volcano Bay, you will need to book over 24 hours in advance, and crucially you need to do this in person as it won't be accepted over the phone. This shuttle doesn't take you directly to Volcano Bay. When you get to Universal, you'll need to catch another bus from there. If you want to travel by yourself to the parks and you don't have a rental car, I would recommend downloading the Uber or Lyft apps as they are cheaper than getting taxis. I don't think I'd recommend the Disney shuttle from this hotel as it costs $20 per person, so it doesn't really make sense if you're travelling as a family. Whilst there's nothing wrong with these shuttles necessarily, but I just think you'll get a nicer experience and have more flexibility getting an Uber or a Lyft. Number 2. For my fellow Brits, if you fancy a cup of tea in the mornings, I saw one reviewer online mention that you can ask reception who may be able to provide you with a kettle, but be sure to pack your Tetleys from home as I believe it's a bit pricey at the hotel's convenience store. Number 3. Breakfast at this hotel is really not bad, but you have to keep in mind you have a lot of choices nearby on this part of iDrive for breakfast. So you have the IHOP across the road, there's Denny's, which is one of my guilty pleasures, you have Perkins across the street, which is good value too, and of course the famous giant McDonald's minutes away. And apparently you can pick up some discount vouchers on these restaurants in the hotel lobby area. If you're willing to walk a bit further or catch a short cab ride, there are some really good dining options that are covered in my top 10 restaurants on iDrive video. If you're in budget mode, I recommend Choi's or Miller's Ale House, but if you're willing to splash out a bit more, I recommend Maggiano's Little Italy. And if you're looking for something really upscale, then I'd recommend the Capitol Grill. Number 4. Room selection is a bit more straightforward when compared to the Rosen Inn at Point Orlando, mainly because you can dodge a bullet by requesting a room that doesn't face the outside, which is said in quite a lot of reviews to be a lot noisier. Instead, everyone seems to be recommending a room facing inwards. If Wi-Fi is important to you, I would absolutely highlight this reception to see if they can provide a room with better connection. If you want a cool view of International Drive from the walkway outside your room, then request a room on the top floor of one of the 6-storey buildings. One cheeky tip I did read was to request a recently renovated room. The issue is I'm not entirely sure exactly where these rooms are, so if they are facing outside, then I would definitely decline this. That's it for this video. If it was useful, please hit the like button. If you're interested in more hotel reviews in Orlando, including my reviews of the other Rosen hotels, do check out my other videos and don't forget to subscribe with the bell notification button.